Inside the walls of a maximum security jail, one inmate says he saw something he'll never forget. Bryan Kohberger, now serving 4 life sentences for the brutal University of Idaho murders, wasn't just quiet and calculated, he was downright disturbing. But it wasn't what he said that creeped people out. It was how he behaved when no one was watching, or so he thought. By now, most people know the name Bryan Kohberger. He's the 30-year-old who shocked the world after being arrested for the 2022 killings of 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Chapin. A criminology PhD student, highly educated and seemingly ordinary on the outside, but behind that academic image was a mind that stunned even seasoned detectives. He later pled guilty and was given 4 consecutive life sentences. But his strange behavior behind bars? That's what's making headlines again. According to newly released police documents, a fellow inmate who lived next to Kohberger from August to September 2024 shared what it was like having him as a neighbor. And the details are unsettling. The inmate told Moscow police that Kohberger quickly became annoying. Why? Because he had an extreme obsession with cleanliness. He reportedly washed his hands dozens of times a day and spent up to an hour in the shower every single day. But that's not all. He barely slept. The inmate said Kohberger would be awake almost all night, pacing and moving around in his cell. Imagine trying to rest, only to hear constant footsteps and activity next door, night after night. The inmate found it disturbing, even creepy. Interestingly, the same inmate described Kohberger as highly intelligent and polite for the most part. But underneath that calm exterior was someone who could snap. One incident stood out. The inmate was watching sports while Kohberger was on a video call with his mother. At one point, the inmate yelled, "You suck," at a player on the screen. Immediately, Kohberger stood up and aggressively asked if the insult was directed at him, or worse, at his mom. It wasn't, but the reaction was intense. It showed that while Kohberger usually stayed reserved, he had a temper ready to explode. You might expect a man accused of one of the most shocking crimes in recent history to either defend himself or shut down entirely. But Kohberger did neither. According to the inmate, Kohberger never talked about his own charges. Instead, he constantly asked about the other inmates' criminal past and how he ended up in maximum security. It's as if he was more fascinated by the system than concerned with his own future. Detached. Analytical. Almost like he was conducting a study. That eerie curiosity gave fellow inmates and investigators a glimpse into how his mind worked. Cold. Calculating. And emotionally distant. Lead investigator Brett Payne also revealed details from Kohberger's initial police interview back in December 2022. At first, Kohberger made casual small talk about sports, about his studies. But the moment the conversation turned to the Idaho homicides, his demeanor changed. He asked to speak to an attorney. Repeatedly. When asked why they were questioning him, Payne simply told him that since he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights, they wouldn't be asking anything more. The strange blend of confidence, silence, and detachment only raised more questions about what was going on inside his head. Even behind bars, Bryan Kohberger managed to unsettle people. Not with threats or violence, but through the quiet, obsessive, and unpredictable way he carried himself. From compulsive handwashing to his strange fixations, from explosive reactions to his refusal to talk about his crimes. It's no wonder the inmate who lived next to him said he left an impression that was hard to shake. One thing is certain. The horror of the Idaho murders didn't end with his conviction. It continues in the stories whispered from behind locked doors by those who saw Bryan Kohberger up close.